Queerbaiting man babies, ugly creatures. Oh my. Predator Badlands. This is, I believe, the 7th entry into the Predator franchise, and it follows a predator by the name of Deck, who is on a mission to prove his worth to his clan and earn his rite of passage. Along the way, he meets a synthetic Waitani drone robot and a ugly creature companion, and together they help him become a man. So the TLDR version. This is a good to decent action film with barely passable CG, 2 annoying buddy companions, some mediocre acting, and a failed attempt to tell a coming of age story. I'd have to give this a 1.5 out of 5 stars. Moving on to the full breakdown. Let's get to it. Boy, is there a lot to say here. Let's start with the first thing. Number 1, I am not a Predator lore fanatic, so I don't know most things about the Predator as far as what their capabilities are to every extent. I don't know the extended lore. But from what the films presented to me, all previous entries into this franchise, at no point did Predators ever come off as family oriented. That's number 1. Number 2, they don't talk. They don't have speech. They only mimic like cockatoos, from my understanding. They might do clicks here and there, but nothing of speech. And number 3, their tech never had lasers added to them. So this is a far stretch of the imagination. What are we doing here? They basically gave him this weapon so that he can succeed in this film. The tone of the movie just completely did not adhere to any version of Predators as far as seriousness. This movie was a buddy cop film with an annoying buddy. This was like Shrek and Donkey when they walked through the forest. Donkey just wouldn't shut up, and that's the dynamic here. And it literally starts from the moment they meet. The droid, her name is Ty, she just will not shut up. She's constantly cracking endless jokes. This felt like modern Marvel movie where it's jokes left and right to undercut whatever serious tone there is at the moment. And it just does not work here. And it doesn't work with the character, especially because the whole film, I could not get past the Predator having a name, speaking on a consistent basis. If they had went with a limited talking version of this where he's very standoffish and only gives you like 1-word answers to make it short and simple. But this man is over here telling his life story, cracking jokes, and I'm just like, what film am I watching? So that's Deck. Moving on to Ty. Ty, like I said, her introduction is the jokester, is nothing serious. This is not the Waitani synthetics that we're used to coming from the Alien franchise. So if you don't know, this is a mix of Predator with aliens. They have been trying to push this for years, and both films did not work. Requiem was a bit better than AVP, but that's not saying much. Anyway, so the first introduction of Ty, I knew I was going to be annoyed by this character. Same way I was annoyed by Crypto in Superman. It's like, all right, this is just too much. It's ongoing. It's nonstop. So her character is kind of belittling Deck, and it's like, why are you doing that? Especially when you know that he is a Yadi, or I cannot say the race, but especially because you know that he is of this race of aliens, and you know their temperament, you know all that stuff about them. How? I don't know. The film never tells you. It's like, okay, when did they ever meet predators? Because from what I understand, any of the mythos in the Alien franchise didn't ever have Waitani collect information on predators. So how she had this much information is beyond me. But anyway, she had the information and is talking to the predator like he's nothing. And in the beginning of this movie, it was a statement that predators, they hunt alone and they don't make friends. Yet the moment he meets her, it's like, okay, we have to be friends. we have to help each other. It just did not work out story-wise. There was no reason for him to pick her up. So that's one thing. The other thing, so as Deck and Ty are quote unquote getting to know each other, Ty tells Deck that she's looking for her other synthetic friend, quote unquote, after a battle that they had. She was hoping that she wasn't dismembered. And the way she says this, it comes off like she's a lesbian. And each time after this, it's presented, she's like yearning to find her in a lesbian fashion. It's not only until we get to like when Deck and Ty are sitting like on a mountain does he classify her as the sister, and Ty ends up agreeing with him, which makes no sense. Like, you're a robot, you should know every form of relationship there is, and for you to say you're looking for this person, which sounds like in a romantic fashion, was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing for synthetics, but whatever. And it feels like it's been reshot to make it clear that she's the sister, but that's not how a sister acts or looks when they're searching for their sister. So that was a bit weird. Now moving on to the third party in here, we have this ugly little creature, and he's supposed to be like the second comic relief. So not only do we have the first immediate comic relief, we have a second one now. So it's just nonstop comedy, kiki to key. Mind you, I'm in a pretty packed theater and next to no one laughed at these jokes or comedic moments. So yeah, it fell flat in my theater. So with this ragtag group of three, Deck has no character building. He hasn't shown that he's even a predator, that he has been training like predators do. He hasn't shown that he's good for a hunt. All we've seen since the beginning of the film is that he's a fighter and he's trying to win his clan's approval, his brother's approval. He's trying to win his father's approval, but it doesn't show hunting skills. And that's what predators are known for, hunting. So when he gets to this planet and he doesn't familiarize himself with the environment, he has to be saved by Ty multiple times. He has to be saved by the Calyx baby. Oh, his name is Bob. Ty named him Bob. So he's been saved by Bob multiple times. And Deck never becomes his own as far as learning things for his own. Ty is there to explain everything to him as if you were on easy mode in a adventure game, and it's beyond annoying because it's like, okay, everything that walk by, this is this and this is that and this is that. No, show him being in the element, show him learning things and learning from his mistakes. His near-death experiences would have helped this film go along. Hell, they even got that right in Prey. So how in the hell can a predator who's born and bred for this not make that a part of who he is and what he does? Ty shouldn't have been introduced until probably the midpoint of the film, or at least they meet in the beginning, help each other, go their separate ways, have two different journeys, and they cross paths later and compare notes of what they learned in their different journeys. Not this literal handout of info dump that she gives everywhere she goes. And just like all the other sequels, this sequel does it too. It's bigger, better, with not much story. This is supposed to be a coming of age story where he's finding his way, and the story just won't let him do that. It won't let him figure things out on his own. Yeah, you might need a little help along the way, but for the most part, he should be doing it. No, not in this film. He has his hand held all the way up. This is just like in The Mandalorian, where Grogu is helping Din Djarin with a few of his missions and beating his enemy. So yeah, this movie really annoyed me. By the end of the film, they made dumber decisions, and it's just like, what are we doing here? There's no way I see a franchise coming out of this. The acting, I mean, what can you say? It's only a alien predator whose face is CG. And then you have Ty, she's decent, but her character is just annoying as whatever. And then we have a few things that just boggles my mind. There's a scene in here, there's a rescue mission to rescue Ty from her sister, quote unquote. And as you've seen in the trailer, Ty's body, the synthetic's body, is cut in half. they've been trying to reunite Tai with her lower half for half the film, and they failed to do it in the middle of the film because Deck and the Callis got into a fight, and while she was repairing herself, ripped her apart again. They were saved by Ty's sister, and they left her legs in this lab. So fast forward to the end of the movie, where this rescue mission where Deck goes to rescue Ty all of a sudden can remotely activate her legs to come walk to her, kick and disable some guards, and then she reconnects herself somehow. I'm assuming there was a repair station there, but even then, it's like, okay, if you could have done that before, why didn't you do that when you were strung up and left to die, so to speak? I don't know. That was extremely irritating, and it was played for laughs too. So yeah, like I said, none of the comedy in here worked whatsoever. And then the other thing is, this film had like 3 endings. So after Deck rescues her, they defeat her sister, and then you think the movie's over. Nope, they leave that planet, somehow get his broken ship that he crash landed in, which, side note, has the dumbest escape plan. So when he first gets to this planet, his ship is damaged from a asteroid field. During re-entry, he hits the escape pod, and this escape pod does not fly. It just drops out of the air and has a shield. He has no seatbelt on, and it was so dumb. Anyway, they use this broken ship to get back to his homeworld. They get back to his homeworld. He presents his trophy, which is Ty's sister's head. So as he presents the head to his father, the father's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "I'm here for my cloak. I've earned the rite of passage." And the father's like, "Nope, you haven't." So he calls out some guards. They fight. He beats them up easily. And I'm just like, okay, well, he's supposed to be the weakest. Technically, he still is the weakest because he didn't get trained by anybody on planet Jenna, which is where the Callisk is, and he had help. So there's no way he would have improved his fighting skills enough to even fend off these guards. But he dispatches of them easily, 2 of them. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So then the father's like, okay, well, I'll fight you. They fight. He beats his father. Mind you, in the beginning of the film, Deck and his brother fought. He lost to his brother. The brother and the father fought. The brother lost to the father and sent Deck to planet Genna to keep him from getting killed. But yet he comes back, is able to defeat 3 predators that's stronger and has more fighting skills than him. And I'm just like, what? So that's the second ending. And then we have, I guess it wouldn't be a ending, it's more like a teaser. So the credits pop up, Predator Badlands, and then the quote unquote, the mid credits pop up of a ship pulling up. And the 3 of them are standing there looking at this ship, and Ty asks Deck, "Hey, what's that? Is that your friend or something?" And he's like, "No, it's my mother." Like, the women in the race, I guess, are the worst or whatever. But either way, it was dumb as hell. This movie was ass, okay? You can like it, you can have fun with it, but story-wise, ass. Lore-wise, ass. So I can only rate this movie at a 1.5 stars out of 5. That's how bad this movie is. You have a simple script that can't even get basic things right. Hunter goes to game planet to hunt, learns how to hunt better, advances skill, next level, bam, super easy. But they don't make it that way. He learns nothing outside of what a few things do in this alien planet. But anyway, that's my review. Let me know if you saw it, what your thoughts are of it in the comments. But I will say this, I'll update my top 5 list that I did for my shorts, and I would put this at number 5 and replace Predator 2. This is still better than Predator 2. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.